Good afternoon to everyone. We are live here from Ancira Ford today with the Eagle Pass Sports Central Prediction Show. We have a reduced cast today. Coach DeGraff could not be here with us. Ruben is had to work for a living today, so he couldn't join us. But we're going to do just fine with the people we have. I think they didn't show up because they didn't do so well on their predictions last week. Coach Graff went 4-6, and Ruben went 3-7. So they just sort of skipped our show today. But anyway, we've got the main cast here. We got Coach Tom Gonzalez and his crew and his coaching staff, and Eric Villaseñor and his coaching staff from both the Eagles and the Mavericks. And we're going to I want to welcome everybody to our prediction show today here at Ancira Ford. And we want to thank Rodney Wynn and everybody here at Ancira for always sponsoring our prediction show. And not only that, they sponsor a lot of our youth activities here in Eagle Pass. So we want to thank them as we bring you the prediction show today from here at Ancira Ford. We are going to start first with Coach Tom Gonzalez today and the Eagle Pass Eagles. Coach, an excellent outing again in Edinburgh at Edinburgh North. It's sort of like you like playing at those neutral sites, and but again, a 49-14 victory for our Eagle Pass Eagles, for your Eagle Pass Eagles.
Yeah, our kids went out and they were ready. They've been playing like that all year so far. I know it's a young season and all, but our coaches do a great job preparing them. The kids respond well, and they know the game plan. They go out and execute.
Well, Coach, what continues to, I guess, impress everybody is putting a lot of points on the board, your diversity of your offense, and most important than that, the great job that your defense is doing also against some quality opponents.
Yeah, exactly. Again, like I mentioned, our coaches do a fantastic job with them. Our kids, they know the game plan. They go out and it doesn't, we tell them every day, it doesn't matter who we're playing, just play our game and we'll have a chance with anybody.
Well, we're going to talk we're going to come back to you in a minute and talk about finish up with you in the game in San Marcos. But Javier Cárdenas, well, you have to be very pleased with all your performers on offense.
Yes, and our kids, they've been very consistent since we started this campaign, this 2022-23 campaign. They've been consistent with what we want to do, our fundamentals, of course, of taking care of the football and understanding our base concepts and then expanding from there. So we've got some pretty smart guys, on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side, coaches as well, that understand what we want to do. Like I said, it's not so much about adding to the play sheet, but about, just getting creative with what we have and continue building on our strengths, and thank God this year, we seem to have a lot of strengths all over the field. So, we're fortunate that against Edinburgh North, Edinburgh North did a good job stopping the run. And that allowed our receivers to get a lot of catches. And Isaac threw for, I think it was nearly 300 yards. And we ran the ball for another 150 total. So, all in all, a real good outing against Edinburgh North, and a lot of receivers had 3+ touches. So that gave them an opportunity to be playmakers. And by the way, Mr. Lipson, before we continue, I just want to take some time very quickly to wish my father, I get a little emotional, happy birthday. 97 years old. He's been through a lot. He's been a pillar of our life, or personally, for my family, and a very strong example. So I just want to wish him que lo queremos mucho a mi papá y esperemos verlo esta semana, el fin de semana. But I just want to make sure that he understands how meaningful he is in my life and the family.
It's just like you say, 97 years old, still having his menudo in the morning.
Yes,
and
I'd
like to get just maybe 80 something and be able to have a menudo in the morning.
Yes.
And
yes.
your guerrero, your warrior, we want to send him a very happy birthday from all of us here at at the prediction show in Eagle Pass Sports
Yes.
Central.
Thank you so much and appreciate that. And again, just to kind of move on to San Marcos from an argument against Edinburgh North. San Marcos is a well-equipped team. They're very physical. They're extremely tough. One of the characteristics about that defense is that they're going to go man up on us from anywhere on the field. They're going to go their man and do a lot of creative things inside the box. They have the personnel to do it, but again, I think we also have the better personnel to go out and continue doing what we need to do and exploit some of the things that they don't cover very well. So we've had a great week of practice, very physical week of practice, and our kids are very well tuned in and prepared to go up against San Marcos this week.
One of the great things that stands out on your Eagle offense is the fact, like you mentioned a while ago, well, they stopped the run, but you're very well diversified,
Right.
running the ball, passing the ball, a great core of receivers. And more important than that, also, besides TJ and your offensive line, the situation with Isaac Stanwyck, it's like having a coach on the field.
Isaac, we take these kids for granted sometimes, but Isaac is, he takes these advanced classes to begin with. His GPA is through the roof. So, you have those high IQ conversations with him, and we have such a good relationship on the field that when we start planning on Monday, we're able to have those conversations, say, what would you like and what do you like? What can we keep? What can we not keep? And he's able to, understand and decipher and make some of those decisions. So ultimately he's on the field, and with the offense that we run, 100% of what the decisions fall on him.
Well, not only that, it's such a great athlete, very, very smart. I've had the privilege and the honor of coaching him on 2 World Series teams during Babe Ruth baseball. And he would always just say, Coach, anything hitting the air to center field, I'm going to catch.
Catch it. Very confident and very poised. And again, it's just, one of those things where he makes not only himself, but everywhere else around him a lot better. We have a center that's his first year starting, and he's made his job a lot comfortable, because he gives them that confidence. He's really good about getting those kids, on the same page, and just bringing out that confidence. Very positive individual.
And also mention your backup.
Andres Garcia and those guys. They work together very well, and they know what we want to do, the concepts. Any tweaks that we do throw at them, they understand, and the things that they don't understand or they don't feel comfortable, they'll come up and tell me, Coach, maybe we should do this or just get away from that, go this. And I love those conversations Monday morning. So it's a pleasure to plan for them. It's a pleasure to have them on our team. But, I just, can't say enough good things about Isaac, TJ, and all the other guys, Kyle, all the way the receivers that we have that have been make plays, in and out every game. So we're very proud of our boys.
Well, we did get a message from College Station from Jimbo. He's ready to quit calling plays. He needs an offensive coordinator over there.
Ready.
Coach Olivas, let's talk some defense. Your thoughts first on the Edinburgh game, and then we'll move on to San Marcos.
Well, yeah, we came out a little bit flat against Edinburgh. They drove down there, which we weren't expecting that, and they drove down there. Our kids woke up. They knew their mistakes. We weren't slanting the way we should have. We weren't pinching hard, and we corrected that. And after that, I think they had a total of 180 total yards. We just got to get them fired up early. We can't take some.
You guys switch so we can get Coach Oliva some camera time. There's by popular request.
Okay, but no, yes, Morris. We just got to get. San Marcos is a different animal, and we can't start slow. We got to start off on the right foot right off the bat.
Well, you had a really good outing against Edinburgh. What does San Marcos bring offensively, and what challenge for your defense?
Well, they're primarily a run team. They're about 75-25. They were 80% against Alexander. They spread it out a little bit more, but they got a lot of talent. They got some big offensive linemen. One's about 6'8", 320. The other one's 6'6", 300. And the other interior linemen, those are their tackles. Interior linemen are about in the 260, 265 pounds. And then they got the quarterback is a returning letterman, De Leon, and the 2 running backs are really, really solid.
Well, there you have it from the defensive side. We're going to come back to Coach Tom Gonzalez. 7 o'clock or a 7:30 game?
7 o'clock.
Okay, because
High School.
I saw some. I think we put it out on our website, and we put it out at 7:30. But we want to make that correction. It is a 7 o'clock game. leave early for San Marcos, because if you catch 5 o'clock traffic on a Friday afternoon going from San Antonio to Austin, that's yes. And I had written that down, that you got your 100th victory. Congratulations on that. That is
Thank
said
you.
very easily, but it takes a lot of consistency to get to win 100 football games.
It certainly is a group effort, from our fantastic staff that we have now and the guys that were with us in the past, and the talent that we've had throughout the years.
We
And
give Coach Graff any credit for
of
that?
course, I was going to say our
And,
fantastic athletic director, administration, and our fan base, and especially
And
my wife and girls at home.
they call the plays, right?
Well, they catch everything. They catch the losses. They catch the win, the celebrations. They see the behind the scenes. They got an all access pass, so they know exactly how, week to week. So, we got to give them the recognition.
No,
So,
all the time that you spend, all of you coaches spend coaching, and Saturdays and Sundays, and a lot of people don't ever see that. There's a lot of dedication to watching film and getting ready for the next. It is a very, very competitive now in high school football. So, your final thoughts? People making the trip to the Eagle fans making the trip to San Marcos.
It's going to be a tough game, for both of us. We're very matched very evenly. It's going to be a great game. We invite the public to go out. I know we have a lot of alumni in those areas, and we invite everyone out there. It'll be at 7:00 at San Marcos Rattler Stadium.
Well, okay, we're going to really quick give some credit to Ancira Ford here today for their sponsorship of our prediction show. We want to thank Coach and the Eagle coaching staff for being here and giving us all their expertise. So let's now go to you. I think we lost our broadcast here, if I'm mistaken. We either going to get back on here, see if we can work out our problem here without going into a panic. Huh? There you go. We are back. We're back now with get us all zoomed in here, and we'll get back to work here really quick. Now with Coach Eric Villaseñor of the Mavericks. Coach, well, a really tough game against Nixon. I know that although an emotional game for you, and especially with your dad on the defensive side as defensive coordinator. But it seemed like when all of the times that you were ready to get something going, something just went against you, and maybe it was the very critical points of the game.
Yeah, and Nixon had a lot to do with that. We started out slow, and can't afford to do that, especially your district opener or anything like that. So we found our footing later in the game, with some costly miscues, hurt us, fumbled in the end zone, threw a pick in the end zone, and those are things that you got to take advantage of. You got to take full advantage of when that opportunity presents itself.
It kind of becomes a nightmare when you see your quarterback stretching to get into that, get the ball over the goal line. And I kind of wish they kind of had a replay or things like that, because they say he fumbled it before it crossed the goal line and then went out there and the ball went over, right?
Yeah, and again, it's tough to argue a judgment call, tough to win a judgment call. So, but that's just the hand that you're dealt. You got to move on and make sure that you learn from those mistakes and dust yourself off. You got 24 hours. That's what we tell our kids. Win or lose, you got to move on because we got another logo that we're going up against on Friday night that we got to get ready for.
From here on out, like we mentioned, it's all district for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk to Heriberto Royce here about not a lot about the Nixon game, but especially talk a little bit about the upcoming Southwest game. So, Coach, a tough game for your offense against Nixon, and not the result you wanted.
Yes, yes, Mr. Listen. Well, like Coach said, we came out slow. We started slow. Obviously, we picked it up in the second quarter. Came out after, in the second half. But unfortunately, we got some situations there where we fumbled the ball in the end zone. We threw a pick. Despite the fact we had close to 300 yards, Abiel Cardona threw for 134 yards and obviously rushed for 92. So those are good components. We just talked about this week about putting it together. Obviously, we still have a lot of room for improvement, a lot of room to grow. Fernie Velasquez, number 17, also had 112 yards, catching, receiving yards out of 6 receptions. So there's a lot of high points. Obviously, you don't want to focus on the negative side. It's important for us, and the best thing is that we had a great week of practice, and that's always a huge motivation for us to continue to obviously grow. It's football. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but it's how you respond, because at the end of the day, that's how we're gonna get better.
Southwest, both of our teams will be out of town this weekend, and no Friday night football in Eagle Pass, which is unusual. But you make the trip to Southwest. What does the Southwest defense? What challenges do they bring to your offense?
They're very good. They have a lot of speed. They have good size. Obviously, that doesn't really give you much detail on what they do, but what we saw, we went to also got a chance to go see him scout on last 2 weeks ago against Loretto Martin. But they want to stop the run against us. They're going to force us to throw the ball. Number 1, Christian Chesser, and number 36, Tristan Quintanilla. They're the middle linebackers. They're going to roll down those outside linebackers, edge pressure. They're going to force us to run everything to the middle. Obviously, we have a scheme, we have a plan that we want to execute, but we know that we talked about this week that we got to be able to complete passes and make plays, and we got to be much better on third down efficiency. That's something that we've been having trouble with the last 2 weeks, and that's not a good ratio that we have. We're aware, which is something good, and hopefully we can fix it and clean it up.
Your offensive line, they've got their work cut out to work really hard to get your backs and Jeremiah and the rest of your running backs.
Yes, sir, Mr. Lips. And they do a great job. Coach Lopez and Coach Soto, they're the position coaches for the O-line. They do a great job. Obviously, when you face quality opponents, sometimes it's not going to display as much as you want the good things or the bright things, but we're confident that we see ourselves growing in the right direction, and we feel that it's just winning takes care of a lot. It cures a lot. So we got to get that first one, and we're expecting to roll over from there. Keep it rolling.
Well, let's bring in. We got Saul Salas sent us Rene Ramirez today, and Rene continues on his diet. It's a wide lens camera. That's why you see him this way.
So I like wearing black.
No, but Coach, tell us a little bit first against your defense and the challenges against Nixon, and then we'll move on to the Southwest game.
And really, as you mentioned, Mr. Lips, we present ourselves in those opportunities, and we just failed to execute. At least in the first half, it was really a tale of two halves. Defensively, you can't spot that many points, especially early. We made some adjustments at halftime, and to be honest, we worked the game plan in the second half, and it showed.
Well, there was a marked difference. You made some adjustments, most certainly.
Yeah, and really was playing good on first down and stopping that run. Also, they had some miscues, which also helped us to get in those situations. But nonetheless, our kids still fought hard. It's something positive going into this week versus Southwest.
Well, Southwest, what's the the Southwest offense going to bring? Who are you going to key on? What do you mainly have to stop?
There's no secret to what they want to do. Okay, they're going to want to run the ball as much as they can. One of the games, one of the highest percentage was 85% run. So we're going to expect that. They're going to line up in double tight. They're foot to foot with a 3-back set, power eye, and it's toss right or toss left. They'll mix it inside and outside. We feel they want to hit us on the edge, try to take advantage with their speed. But nonetheless, throughout the years, it's been physical throughout. They're physical, and we need to match that physicality. Continue to remain confident throughout, match the physicality, and hopefully sustain it like we mentioned week in and week out. We got to be ready in the back end as far as discipline or with our eyes and stuff because they'll mix in the pass just to keep us honest. Okay, so a lot of discipline throughout up front at the second level and obviously in the back end. And hopefully we can create some turnovers. I think we're lacking on that aspect. And if we can do that, I think we feel a great chance to put ourselves in a good situation.
Well, there you have it from both the offense and the defense. We're going to bring Coach Villaseñor back to finish up our Maverick part of our show here. Coach, well, you get on the old yellow bus, I like to say, although there are no more yellow buses, I don't believe. Everybody travels occasionally, but you're going to Southwest, 7:00 game?
Yes, sir. Traveling to Southwest. Grass field, one of the few grass fields left in the state, I believe, along with the Honey Bowl. So we got another grass field. It's pretty odd that we get 2 grass fields in one season. Also want to congratulate Coach Gonzalez once again on his 100th victory. I called him Friday morning or Saturday morning, I can't remember. And I said, wasn't that easy, man, getting to 100? And we just both laughed together. It's hard. It's hard to win. Getting to 100, certainly special. I told him I'm glad I was part of some of those. We had some good times, continuing to have some good times over here with these guys. And coaching is just fun. And that's just some good things that the profession brings to the table. Again,
so congratulations to Coach Tom Gonzalez on winning his 100th game, and of course, like he said, it takes all those players and all those coaches that have worked all that time to get that done. So
I think you said it best. All that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people don't see that, and just to pull it out on a Friday night, you got to celebrate it every time you get one.
There you go. Well, we're going to again. We want to thank Ancira Ford for being our sponsor here. We've got a few minutes left to make our predictions. I don't know. I think Ruben and Coach Graff. I mean, I think they copied from each other last week. Coach went 4-6, and Ruben 3-7. Both Coach Villaseñor and I did 7-3, and Tom came in at 6-4. So Coach Graff still ahead, though. No, actually I'm ahead. Coach Graff a close second, and then Coach Gonzalez and Coach Villaseñor and Ruben catching up. But we've got some good games here. I've got both the predictions from Coach Graff and Coach Ruben. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go first. So here we go. Our first game is Holmes and Sotomayor. I have to take Holmes. I guess you guys know that, right? Although I'm a good friend of Coach Morales over at Sotomayor, but my son-in-law's on the Holmes coaching staff, so I guess I'm going to pick Holmes. And Coach Graff picked Holmes, and so did Ruben. Coach Gonzalez?
Holmes.
Eric?
Holmes.
Our next game is Southside and Medina Valley. I'll tell you both that Coach Graff and Ruben picked Southside, and I think I'll go with Southside. And Coach Gonzalez?
Southside.
And Coach Villaseñor?
Southside.
Martin and Laredo Martin and South Sand, both of them picked South Sand. I'll take South Sand. And Coach Gonzalez?
South Sand.
And Coach Villaseñor?
I'm going to go with Coach Royce on this one. You go Martin.
Martin.
We talked about that one this morning. Go Martin.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
This game, I think Coach Graff sent us, and he always goes into. I guess he's got a love for Pearsall and for Northeastern Oklahoma. And this game is Lincoln against Northeastern Oklahoma, which I know nothing about. Coach Graff picked Northeastern. Ruben picked Lincoln. I don't know whether to go to Coach Graff or Coach Ruben, but I'll take Northeast. Coach Gonzalez.
I've never heard of either one, so I'm going to go Northeastern.
Northeast. Okay. Eric.
Lincoln County regulators, like Young Guns, or
I have no idea.
Northeastern.
You're going to go Northeastern. Okay. The next one's United South and Weslaco. Ruben and Coach Graff split on that. Coach Graff went Weslaco and Ruben went United South. I'll take United South. And Coach Gonzalez?
I think Weslaco.
Weslaco. And Coach Villaseñor?
Weslaco.
Edinburgh Vela and Far San Juan Alamo North. I think this was Coach Villaseñor's game, right?
Sure. That's tonight.
That's tonight. Okay, well, I'll take Vela. And Coach Graff took Vela, and Ruben took North. Coach Gonzalez?
Got to go Vela.
Vela. And Coach Villaseñor?
Vela.
I put this one in because Appalachian State beat the Aggies, and they just continue to pull every game out as they go, real close games. James Madison against Appalachian State, and they both Ruben and Coach Graff took Appalachian State, and I will too, and Coach Gonzalez.
James Madison,
and Coach Villaseñor.
Go App State.
Yeah. App State, okay. Missouri and Auburn, we know what Ruben picked. I mean, he picked Missouri. Coach Graff took Auburn, and I'll go against Ruben and take Auburn. Coach Gonzalez?
Missouri,
and Coach Villaseñor?
Auburn.
Arkansas and Texas A&M. It depends.
Dallas, right?
It's in Jerry's world, isn't it? And both of them picked Arkansas. You know what I'm going to take, but I'll take A&M. Coach Gonzalez.
I'll go Arkansas.
Coach, I know what you're going to pick. And the odds are probably in that way.
Arkansas.
You're going to take Arkansas. The next one is. I went against the Cowboys last week, and I guess we all did, except for Coach Villaseñor. And but the Cowboys and the Giants, both Ruben took the Cowboys, Coach Graff took the Giants. Oh gosh, I'll take the Cowboys this time. Make my wife happy. Coach Gonzalez,
Cowboys,
and Coach Villaseñor,
Cowboys.
So except for Coach Graff, who took the Giants. We all took the Cowboys, and hopefully, even without Dak, the Cowboys will continue to improve every week. Once again, I want to thank both our head coaches and their coaching staffs and for being here with us today for our prediction show. And most especially want to thank Rodney Wynn from Ancira Ford for having us here today and providing us all this good food and everything here after our prediction show. So with that, be sure, be safe on the road, all of you Eagles and Mavericks that go to San Marcos and Southwest, and we'll see you next week.